Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Farming Simulator 25 and we're going to be answering a question that I feel like a lot of people have asked probably a lot of times, or at least wondered about it. And today we're going to test her out as scientifically as I possibly can. And that question is, does horsepower in Farming Simulator matter? And by that, of course, we know that there are certain things where it'll matter. You can't just grab the biggest cultivator in the game and hook it up to your little 3655 or whatever John Deere tiny little tractor you're going to pull it with, and it'll go off just fine. We of course know that doesn't work. But once you get to a certain point, does it matter if it's bigger? Does it make it work faster? Does it make it work more efficiently? You know, whatever. So what we have before us today is 7 tractors and a cultivator, okay? This cultivator is the largest piece of equipment horsepower requirement-wise in the entire game. This is the Summers Super Chisel CP 2050. It requires 630 horsepower to use it. It has an 18.3 meter working width, I should say, and weighs 12.5 tons. It is the largest, most horsepower-intensive piece of equipment in the entire game, okay? These 7 tractors can all handle it. This one being just slightly big enough to handle it, and then, of course, all the way to the high end, we have the IH Stiger 715 quad track, which has 715 horsepower, which has way more than the horsepower requirement to use that super chisel. So, the question is, does it make a difference? Does it make a difference if we use the one that just barely has enough horsepower for it, or the one that has way more than enough? Will that go a lot faster? And that raises a second question. If this tractor, the smallest one out of these 7, can handle the largest piece of equipment in the game, is there any reason to buy those other 6 tractors? Okay, and so that is a lot of stuff that I'm asking all at once, but that is what we're going to answer with this video, and I'm going to do it by using these 3 test fields I've prepared to test 3 of these different tractors. We're going to test the smallest one first, which it's the John Deere 96590. This one has 649 horsepower, so it is more than enough to pull this. That's the smallest one. Then we're going to skip over these next 2, and we're going to test the Fendt, because it falls right in the middle of the road, and it even has a different design, so it's not articulating like all the rest of these. It is just a two-sided track machine. Just a separate note that will not affect this video at all. It happens to be my favorite tractor out of all of these, just because I like how I like it better than the articulating design. Basically, I like using the rigid frame where you're just turning one device, so you're only worrying about the equipment when you're backing up or trying to readjust or anything. So we'll be testing that one as our middle tractor, which has 673 horsepower, so it's a significant step up from the smallest one, and again, way more than enough to handle it. And then, of course, we'll be testing it with the Big Hog, the most powerful tractor in the game, which, if anything, you know, if there's going to be a difference in being way over for horsepower, this should accurately demonstrate it, as it has 715 horsepower, and so therefore it's way more than what we should need. Like I said, we'll be using these test fields that I have prepared, and so you can see it's these 3 here. They are exactly the same size, and they're all perfect rectangles, which you can see from here. So, ideally, it should be extremely close to being 100% identical. So, the only way to get more precise than this would be to use exactly the same field, but like I said, these are the same shape, the same size as each other, and they have roughly the same landscape. There's obviously difference in curvature and everything, but it's relatively flat. There's no real steep hills or anything that are going to slow one down over the other. So we're just going to get started with it, and I will, of course, macro to speed up the game while I'm recording, so it will appear faster than it obviously would while you're playing it, but I'll record the time, and I will include that when I'm editing the video, so you can compare the times for these 3 tractors pulling this same piece of equipment. So I'll do them one at a time. We're going to start with the John Deere 9R590. Just going to go ahead and hook it up to our Super Chisel. We will be letting AI do all of this tillage work for us, so that should keep it fairly consistent, and obviously, you know, I understand that if you're doing it yourself, you can be a lot more efficient than the AI, but I'm using the AI to make sure that I don't do anything differently that screws up the times. So, like I said, we're just going to go ahead and get started with our smallest tractor. Well, you've got the time there on screen to show how long that took, but I am disappointed by the shoddy workmanship of the AI. Look at all those patches we missed. So I'm going to touch those up, but you can see the work that we've got going for us here, or at least the time, I should say, that it took to do this. So once I've cleaned up after our slapdash AI, we'll get started on our second tractor. All right, so we're ready with our Fendt, so we're just basically moving up in horsepower, same equipment, so let's just get started and see how long this one takes. All right, that one went pretty nice and smooth, and you can see, I mean, again, time-wise, I'm not sure where we're at, but you can see why I like using this Fendt. Man, they just turn around so good when you're using them for tillage like this, and we didn't miss any on this field, so I don't know if that's something you want to blame the tractor for, or if it's, you know, the field's fault, whatever you want to consider. The Fendt doesn't miss it, which is one of the reasons why I like it so much better, is because that's my general experience with it. But that's our middle tractor for our big horses. Let's unhook it and hook up our Stiger, our case Stiger, and see if 715 horsepower makes it go any faster. All right, so we've got our big case hooked up. I'm very hopeful. I'm really hoping we can clinch this. Like I said, I have no idea what these times are until I'm editing it, so I don't even know if the second one was faster than the first. I genuinely have no idea. But we'll have to see if the case can actually win the day and prove that the bigger the horse, the quicker the job, or whatever you're trying to prove. So let's just jump into it. Well, that went pretty smooth, and it seemed pretty quick. We had one little issue where we run into the classic articulating tractor problem with the AI, where it likes to keep backing up or driving in little circles because it's not perfectly aligned. But still, that felt pretty quick, so I'm excited to see where this goes when I edit the video to figure out how much time that took, because maybe our 715 did do it faster than our John Deere or even our Fendt. We'll have to find out, but that is where I'm going to leave it for today. I guess if you're not satisfied with this test, or you want to see different ways done, or whatever the case may be, if you just want to see other pieces of equipment compared to each other, let me know down in the comment section below. But for now, that's all for today, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching, and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.